Most people think progress stalls because they're not pushing hard enough, but very often progress stalls because there's no capacity left to push with. And this shows up a lot in high performers. What I've noticed is that when progress stalls, it's usually for one of two reasons, and they get mixed up all the time. The first is capacity. This is where you're already at the limit and there's zero margin to push. And this can come from nervous system load, like long or intense work, emotional challenges that are going on at the moment, a buildup of stress, or just insufficient recovery or rest to balance out what you're doing. Now, a caveat on this is this can come from stuff that you enjoy. You might enjoy your job or your hobbies, but you're pushing it too hard and it's having too much of a negative effect on your system. And how do you know this is happening? Well, sometimes this can show up as pain in the body, like unexplained injuries, low energy, or increased negative emotions like frustration or anger. If pushing harder makes things worse, that's not a motivation problem. The second is structure. So this is where maybe there's no routine at all. There's inconsistent efforts. There's goals that it's constantly moving, or it's not even a very definite goal to start with, and you're putting effort everywhere and nothing is sticking. Often it's just one missing domino. The question I usually come back to is this: is this a capacity boundary or is it a structural boundary? If adding pressure makes things worse, that's usually the answer. What tends to matter most is finding that one single point that everything is tied to. This could be a lack of downtime. It could be a lack of clarity. And the piece here is using one thing, not five things. And reasons on this is if it does work and it does improve and you use 5 fixes, you don't know which one is working. The other thing is if you've got one focus, it's much easier to stick to, it's much easier to experiment with and understanding, is that working or not? So if it's a capacity boundary, what I found is it's about creating a slack in the system. This could be going for a walk, this could be getting some downtime, it could be building in a 5-minute meditation into your day, it could be fueling yourself. Maybe that's more water, that's better food, that's better social interaction. And when it's structure, what I found works best here is finding one small little bit of pressure we can put to improve things. So this could be putting in a solid 2 workouts a week. It could be journaling at the end of the day. And usually these things are best done over like a short experiment period, usually 1 to 2 weeks. Something simple, something contained, something that you're not going, okay, this is for the rest of my life and how do I do it? Important bit here is not doing more than one, not doing both at the same time. So instead of asking, why can't I push harder? The better question is, am I out of capacity? Or do I need a small amount of pressure in the right place? That distinction usually changes everything.